Trish, thank you for joining me. 4 young students that died in a horrific murder in November 2022. The trial's coming up for the first hearing of that is coming up this month in May, so in a couple of weeks. So I just want to have a look at some little things that's going on there. Please be aware this is tarot and oracle reading, so it is purely speculation and it's for entertainment purposes only. Okay, so first I want to connect in with my cards. I'm just going to check in to make sure it's okay and safe for me to have a look at this case, please. So it's given me some answers around what's happened, but I just want to first check in to make sure I'm safe to read on this first, please. I just need a permission to read on this case first, please. Okay. So I've got a yes, I've got a soft yes on if I'm allowed to read on it. Some things, it says keep some things to yourself. That's my card for keeping some things for you, to yourself. So the cards that it has given me is, it wants to talk about the attack. The cards want to talk about who was in control, or who was controlling the narrative, who was controlling the situation. It's something about the control. Who was in control of this murder. Many options, and that being the many victims. Could be many perpetrators, meaning more than one. So we'll ask this as we go along in the reading, but it's saying there's many of something is what the cards want to talk about. And the card of being tied down, so it wants to talk about something about being tied down. That doesn't have to be physically tied or restrained. It can, that could mean other things as well. Could be to do with the gag order that's on a lot of the families and the surviving housemates. So that is something we're going to have a look into as well. Okay, I'm just building the energy here. Okay, so let's put these away. Let's start asking these questions. Okay, firstly I'm going to pull a card from this deck here, just to sit to the side. So is there anything out of this deck that's going to be relevant to this case, please? Is there anything from this deck that's going to be relevant for this case, please? Okay, so the card that come out here is who's taken the lead. Who's taken the lead here? That's the card that's going to be relevant from that deck. Okay, so it says patronising, intolerant, and the card title is, well, it says proud, dominating, generous, patronising and intolerant. It's the card of Leo, and it says take the lead. So it could be related to something between the dates of July and August, which could possibly something to do with the hearing or trial or sentencing. But I don't feel strongly to that. I feel like it wants to discuss who's the leader of this, or which to me kind of may imply that there is more than one perpetrator. Well, will Brian Kohberger, he's the current suspect that is in custody. Will Brian Kohberger please, will he be found guilty? Will Brian Kohberger be found guilty? Okay, there's a bit going there, so let's have a little look so we can know what's going on there. Okay, so that's 2. Disappointments, getting more information. This is also about evidence. This card's my card for evidence in the true crime reads. Evidence and statements, this card. And here, improvements. But I feel like, yeah, that's it could be him currently in custody, so, and something to do with improvements. Okay, so let's ask that question again. The cards didn't flip out like they normally flip out. They just kind of fell. Okay, so will Brian Kohberger please be found guilty of these crimes, please? Okay, I'm kind of asking 2 questions here. Okay, I'm asking this question incorrectly. What I should be asking is, was Brian Kohberger involved in this crime, please? Okay, this is my definite no card. That was just raising vibration. That was just telling me to pick my vibration up a bit more, which I did that. This is a card of freedom. This is a card of submission, which to me can imply patsy. Retreat. So with the retreat card, we could be getting either somebody has retreated, gone into hiding, okay, there's a hidden aspect to the situation. This is just going to help us build a little bit more depth to the questions that we had. Again, something was unorganised, but there's lots involved here, and again many, so it's saying many, so many and many here. Okay, so let me just have another little look at these cards, and it'll kind of slightly change the questions that I had, or we'll go a little deeper into some of these areas. Okay, so with the person retreating, my question on that is that Brian Kohberger in custody at the moment for a purpose to retreat and hide? No, I don't feel that's the case. Is it to do with somebody that has retreated that's involved with the crime? Okay, I'm going to ask the cards on that one. Okay, so it's saying, the question that I asked, was he involved in the crime? It said no. When my yes and no cards come out, they're very powerful, but it's here at freedom right next to it. And there's a hidden aspect, so they're hiding something, and that could be something's being hidden. Okay, let's ask on that one, please. We're going to ask that one there. We're going to have some more clarification around that one there, which will be, is there somebody that committed these crimes that has gone into hiding, please? Is there another person out there that's gone into hiding that actually committed this crime, please? That's all that card. Okay. This card is hiding, so this card is gone locked away. It's called social anxiety, but it's locked away, so somebody is locked away from the public. Perhaps because they know something, or perhaps because the person that has done it has gone into hiding. Okay, there's some healing involved here, some kind of healing, receiving. Again, we're looking at the tied down to this, tied down. We'll look deeper into that as well. Okay, this is my card of a creative narrative. So a creative narrative is when there's a spin on the situation. It's not quite exactly the way it's being told. Something about wasting time. So somebody's biding time, or somebody is it's like they're waiting for something else to happen before they come out. So it's like, yeah, somebody's holding back for some reason. Okay, let's go a little deeper. Was Brian Kohberger in that house? Okay, we have no definite yes here. Okay, so we're still going to need a little bit more information on that. I'm seeing the road. So yes, he was on the road. So that was the car that was seen going past on the security camera. So he's saying he was on the road. Was he in the home, please, on the night of the murder? please. Was Brian Coburg, that's a better way to say it. Sometimes if you don't ask them clearly, you need to ask the question very, very clearly and precisely to get the correct answer. So I was a little bit vague in saying, was he in the house? Perhaps he'd been in that house any point over the years. So the question would be, was he in that home, please, on the night of the murder? Was Brian Coburg in that house on the night of the murder, please? So again, we've got the control card. So the control card, it keeps coming up as a major player in this. There's a favourable outcome. This is our creative narrative. This is somebody in a blindfold or eyes covered, so not blindfold, like a mask. Weapon. This is also knives here. The knife, the weapon. It could be somebody that didn't see. They didn't see. Okay. Again, we're looking at this one here, which I feel like is the Patsy card. So it's like he's hung out to dry, like he's been hung out to dry. And this one here is evidence. So it's about evidence. This is a card of evidence. I'm going to keep asking it because okay, what I'm getting now, what I'm getting now is the fact that when he was taken in, he said, has anybody else been arrested? So now, okay, so what that's making me think is perhaps this is a controlling card, so perhaps he was controlling something, but did he actually do it? Okay. So we're getting more information. Somebody's bringing in another testimony, more information. That I believe would be Bethany is bringing in more. She's bringing in more information, more of a testimony to help with this situation. And okay, so therefore, the question that I asked, was he in the home on the night of the murder? The testimony that, or the interview that Bethany does will give more clarity around that area. Okay, because here we're seeing, now I'm wondering if this is Bethany and what she saw. So did she, and it's saying she didn't see him, she didn't see him. Okay, let me go deeper still, please. This card is my creative narrative card, about a story that's made up, creative narrative. Okay. Right, I'm going to ask the cards just to lay out for me what happens, please. Okay, and then we'll get back to the questions. Okay, so I'm going to ask the cards because I've pushed it as far. I'm pushing and pushing, but I'm not getting a clear yes on Brian Coburger. We got a clear no. We got a freedom card, but I still feel. I wonder if he's still involved. When I asked if he was in that home, that is going to be something to do with the testimony, the new testimony that comes out, or the new information that's brought in by Bethany about whether or not she saw him or who she saw, because her eyes, if that person had their eyes covered, so who did they see? Okay, can you tell me please why Brian Coburg's DNA was on that knife case, please? Why was Brian Coburg's DNA on that knife case, please? Okay, so this one here is assistance. It's called assistance. This one is, it's called Time to Fly, but you can see this person's holding the bird, so he's holding it. Okay, so we've got the slow down card, but let me just see what they're saying, what these cards are saying. Okay, why was his DNA on that knife case, please? Okay, I'm getting a lot of blue cards here. Okay, this is the destruction card, the tower card, but the word I'm hearing is tampering. Tampering. So tampering with evidence. Okay. Why was his DNA on that knife? Okay, this is the only one that implies that he actually held it, because this is holding the bird, so that he held it. All the cards are blue. Okay, what I'm getting is assistance in the crime scenes. Cards, what do you have to say about this crime, please? Can you give me some kind of insight into if there was more than one perpetrator? Also, we don't have a card for Brian yet, so I can't tell if he's involved. Okay, crying. Death, so yes, it's death. Okay, so they're just giving me an outlay of what's going on with this card, with this crime, please. What caused the crime? What caused the murders? Was there more than one murderer? Is the murderer still free, out there, please? Okay, so what the card is saying, we're talking about the death. Okay, at the time the death was planned. This is my strategic card. The death was planned. There was motive behind the death, or there was planning towards that death. So it didn't just, it wasn't just randomly, oh, let's just go and, like a crime of opportunity. It was a strategically planned death. This is my death card. Okay, heavy burdens. This is also, in a way, it's death, letting go of somebody. Okay, somebody's keeping something to themselves. Okay, keeping it to yourself. Okay, getting here, regrets or crying, brunette. Over here we've also got two brunettes. There's two brunettes here, but there's two. It's saying there's two there. And something about changing. Something changed. Some kind of change happened there. Okay, you need to be clearer than this. Okay, so justice, and it's about timing. So they're looking for justice, but it's a matter of timing. If they don't get someone quick to close this case, then it will go cold. They won't be able, it's like the evidence trail goes cold. So it really is a matter of timing. If they want to get a conclusion or a conviction, then it's a matter of timing. So this is the trial and the justice, but it's a matter of timing. So perhaps what's going could also could be there is in the trial, the issue is going to be the timing. There's something going wrong with the timing. Inconsistencies in the timing. So that could be what is the problem with the trial, at the trial. Okay, I'm not seeing any more evidence there, but you're laying out the cards of what's going on here. So this is the foundation of the case, the foundation being that the death was strategic, planned. Okay, you're giving me two people up here, but you're saying there's some kind of changes involved. So changes, does that mean somebody swapped out, or some kind of changes to a situation? Okay, one person keeping something to themselves, and there's regrets. So somebody's got regrets about it. So somebody's regretting something. So maybe they had involvement in it and they've got regrets. Or maybe somebody has regretted saying something to another person, or what I'm kind of getting here is somebody's given somebody advice, or they've said something to another person, but they're regretting that they ever said that to that person. Maybe they didn't know what the intention was, what they were going to do with it. Okay? Okay, I'm going to ask more on that regret card. I want to know if that regret card, the person having those regrets, please, is that Bethany or is that Brian? Who's having the regrets, please? Is it Bethany or Brian? Who's having regrets, Bethany or Brian, please? Okay, someone's being very cautious about what they're saying. Okay, so here's the caution card. Someone's being very, it's like they're being watched. They're being very, very cautious about what they say. They're fearful, actually very fearful, because they don't know if, almost feels like there is somebody still out there and they're scared to say anything because they're scared of that person that's still aren't out there. They're still scared. Okay, here I'm seeing, we've got the 3 on the table. 1, 2, 3, plus the 1 that she's holding, so there's 4. That's 4 lives. This is one, I would say this is Bethany, but she's fearful of what she says because what it implies or who she implicates. She's scared to say something because of what that will imply, who that implicates. Does it implicate herself in some way? Does it implicate the other housemate? Does it implicate somebody else that they know perhaps? But she's fearful. She's fearful about somebody. She's fearful about somebody else, somebody watching her or somebody still out there. But here I see the 4, and there's somebody still with their eyes on her. Okay, so that's therefore, and this is my creative narrative card. So when the creative narrative, so we've been having the cards of somebody is keeping something to themselves. Somebody has retreated. Again, we've got this card again. So somebody's retreated and gone into hiding. Okay, this is, again, the narrative or what you say. So she's fearful perhaps of telling, she's been fearful of telling everything or telling the truth because it will imply something because of the implications, what it implies, or she's fearful of something, very possibly both. So actually, it is both. So she is fearful because of what it implies, what she says, what that implies. Okay. So when I asked about the regret card, who has the regrets, I said, is it Brian or is it Bethany? I think it's Bethany because this is what I'm seeing here, being 4 victims and 1 person still there, but somebody has their eyes on them. So somebody's still watching that person. So I feel like the person that's having regrets or has some kind of regrets is one of the surviving housemates. Okay, so therefore, does Bethany have any exculpatory evidence that is going to free Brian, please? Or, okay, so here we've got truth and justice. So there's the truth and justice. So does Bethany have any exculpatory evidence, please? Okay, so there's more out there. So I feel like, yeah, there is somebody else out there. Keep slowing down. Does Bethany have any evidence that will support Brian's case, please? Does she have any evidence that will support Brian's case, please? Yes. Yes, she does. She does. That's my definite yes. I did ask for it to be very clear. So yes, she definitely does have exculpatory evidence. Here is the review card. So it's the reviewing. Okay, so she's got regrets of some kind. Okay, are you able to tell me what kind of evidence she has, please? What kind of evidence that's helpful that she has, please? What? Okay, so first thing I'm seeing was who she saw. So here, okay, a couple of things that I can see. She knows something about cars. This is the car, so something to do with the car or the transport. She knows something about that. She also knows something about, because she saw something, so it's about who did she see or what did she see. Because you can see here, like she's looking from her room, peeking through, like she's seen. Okay, so the message, here is the message. This is someone bringing a message through, so it's what information that she has. Okay, again we're getting card of being unorganised and the card of many, so we keep getting these two cards, and I feel like these two cards meaning many, so many. So perhaps there was other people in the house apart from just the roommates, so maybe there was, and I don't think that would be a uncommon thing. So maybe there was other people in the house, and it could have been any one of those people. Okay, what else have I missed here?